Let me do that one over.
Try that again. Take two.
Take two in 3, 2, 1. Texas. They say everything's bigger here, and they're right. We've got big cars, big hearts, and even bigger stakes. This is beef country, Texas. Home to the Alamo, and a state park so big that we named it just that. Big Bend. Call it that because it's really big and it bends. Duh. It's got a Texas-sized podcast as well. And this is it, right here. Fort Hood's great big podcast. Yeehaw.
All right, welcome to the Great Big Podcast.
What are you eating?
Cheese.
You're not from Wisconsin. You're not allowed.
I've spent enough time in Minnesota that the cheese rubbed off on me. People have been smelling it ever since.
I love cheese.
Cheese is great, isn't it?
It's the best.
And by the way, this podcast is brought to you by America's Cheese Council.
Really?
No.
I didn't think so.
Are they a thing?
The Cheese Council?
The Cheese Council? I imagine a bunch of mice sitting around a table.
Yeah.
What should
Judging.
what judging?
Yeah.
I like that. Judging. The mouse is slowly judging me.
Yes.
And my cheese.
So,
Mm-hmm.
travel plans.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have them.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. I'm going to finish this cheese. Oh, cheese is so good. This just in, cheese stocks are on the rise.
That's about it.
Yeah. Travel plans. Yeah. We already got the tickets. Got the plans for, I'm waiting for the movers to call to confirm the dates, but we already know the dates when they're going to take our
Right.
stuff.
Right.
Nice.
So yeah, almost all the boxes are checked.
Very cool.
Yep.
Are you getting super stressed?
No.
Really?
Why?
I always get stressed out when I'm moving.
Nah, as I've gotten older, I have adopted the attitude
Uh-huh.
of there's certain things, it's just going to happen. That's like when I got COVID.
Right.
Either I was going to be okay or I wasn't. There's no
Right.
use stressing about it.
Right.
How I felt about it wasn't going to change a thing.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
So when I couldn't breathe
Mm-hmm.
and I was going to go, and I went to the emergency room, my thought was, well, this happened quickly. I didn't think it would happen that fast, but
Right.
I guess it did. This could be the end of that. So
Yeah.
with this, it's like, well, I know it's going to happen. I can try to prepare myself.
Yeah, but this is a good thing.
yeah, it's good. Cheap sushi is always
Last
good.
week,
Yes.
you were talking about Thanksgiving, and we're not even we weren't to Halloween yet.
No, now we are.
No, well, we're past it.
Yeah,
But,
getting ready for the next one.
well, yeah, we're going to be talking Veterans Day a
Mm-hmm.
little bit. But you are actually doing Thanksgiving early, aren't you?
I am. I was supposed to be doing Thanksgiving really early with
Yeah.
my family, but then I got the corona,
Yeah.
and so that got scrapped. Even though everybody had already traveled to Kansas,
Oh.
They were there?
they had already showed
oh,
up.
Man.
And then, so luckily they were able to come back. Everybody's coming back.
Wow.
So
They're very dedicated.
yeah,
That's
Very cool.
nice.
it's almost like we're family,
Yeah.
Wear a mask.
Yeah, it's got my wife freaked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We cannot screw up this Japan move.
Yeah.
I cannot get sick.
Yeah, I totally.
You won't. I'm immune.
So the Japan move.
Yes.
I know you guys have been online looking at places
Oh,
to live.
boy, have we.
Take me there, Charlie.
Yeah. So, Japan, it's interesting. As an American, I'm used to looking up stuff and seeing it in feet.
Mm-hmm.
Japan, they use the metric system there.
Right.
So they don't use feet, they use meters.
Okay.
But not for houses. They have a special measurement system for the size of houses, and it is tatami mats. Now, tatami mats are woven straw mats that they used to have way at feudal Japan.
Right.
What they'd put down in a house.
Okay.
But that system stayed around. So when you're looking at the houses and apartments online, it'll tell you this room is 5 tatami mats.
Wow.
This room is 8 tatami mats. And
It's like measuring horses with hands.
yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, like, are we talking man hands? Are we talking lady hands?
We're
How many
talking
hands?
jazz hands.
But no, so I kind of, because I lived in Japan prior,
Yeah.
I have a vague idea of, okay, 5 I know is pretty small.
Uh-huh.
17 is nice sized, but
Right.
still nice sized in Japan compared to American nice sized. We would consider that a closet.
Right.
I remember when we came here from Japan and we went to our apartment the 1st time, I saw it. Our apartment that we have now is 1,000 square feet.
Right.
We walked into it and I thought, this place is so huge. We're going to have so much space. We don't even need all this space. This is giant. This is a mansion.
Yeah.
And now after 2 years, I'm like, well, we could have done bigger.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And so, going backwards to Japan, first time I lived there, I had a queen size bed and a dresser, just, dresser with a mirror on it, just a normal bedroom set.
Yeah.
Nightstand. And in the bedroom, I could fit the bed, but that was all I could fit. The dresser wouldn't even fit up the stairs
Right.
to the bedroom. And it lived in my living room for 2 months, in the middle of my living room, because no one would take it because it was too big. I would have, the city came. I was going to pay the city to haul it to the dump.
Sure.
And the city said, that's too big. I
Wow.
just left it.
Yeah.
So I told the wife, I said, what's really great about this is you're going to suddenly have the American perspective on things
Right.
that you didn't have before. So it's sort of seeing things through my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So she's already gone online and looked at her favorite sushi restaurants
Okay.
and said, oh my gosh, the prices are so cheap. Sushi's so cheap in Japan. And I said, yes, welcome to America, honey.
Yeah.
That's what all the white people think.
Yeah.
That's what everybody thinks.
Yeah.
And so now I said the next thing's going to be the house. Oh my gosh, all the houses are so small. Why are the houses so small? And then after that is, oh, I miss central air. Why is the house so cold? Because they don't have central air there.
Right.
You heat the room that you're in. So, and you have to have an air conditioner in each individual room, which means your bathrooms don't have any sort of heating or cooling. So, which
Bathrooms are so cold.
speeds you up in the summer and winter.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's either a sauna or an ice box.
Right.
But so if you have a air conditioner in your living room and it's winter, so it's cold, but that's running, so you're nice and toasty, and it's getting time for bed. So you have to plan 30 minutes to an hour and say, why don't you go downstairs and start up the heater so the room's ready for when we go to bed?
How spontaneous.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. They wonder why the birth rate's so low.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, there you go.
But it's a different life.
Yeah.
And in some ways, it's more simple.
Yeah.
It's
No,
simpler.
I see that.
But really, we're looking forward to the cheap sushi.
Oh, yeah.
This is all about, at the end of the day, it's all about the cheap sushi.
Well, think about it. Smaller rooms
Mm-hmm.
means you got to scale back.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
have
No.
less
Well,
stuff. You're not a stuff guy anyway.
You would think, but if you go into Japanese people's houses,
Yeah.
there's stuff everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
They will have the room where everything is just crammed into it. Just put it in there.
Don't open that door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally. Stuff is crammed everywhere. And it's different here. So here you'll go, maybe you'll get a bookcase to put stuff in.
Right.
Japan has very, very frequent earthquakes.
Yeah.
So you can't have something above a certain height or it will fall over. If
Right.
you do have something over a certain height, you need to somehow attach it to the wall
Right.
to stop that from happening. So everything's about 3 feet tall.
Mm-hmm.
And then so where you would normally put a big bookcase, you can now put something with maybe 3, maybe 4 small shelves.
Okay.
So you have this line around the house that everything is right at this high water line, so it won't fall over in the earthquake. And then maybe a few things on the wall, a calendar,
Sure.
a picture. But no, they cram it in there where they can.
Very cool.
They do. He's pointing at you. You're
Oh,
supposed to say something
yes.
intelligent now.
Very cool.
Well, that wasn't it. I'm going to tell you, that wasn't it.
That's exciting. So when I lived there, I didn't have to live on the economy. I lived in the barracks. So it's very unique. I often forget what other people have to go through, even though we're all in the same base or the same area.
That's great.
It's like night and day, really.
That's great. This is really not about you, though.
Oh. Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, you're sticking around.
Yeah.
So, Texas.
Mm-hmm. Texas.
Now, before we talk Texas,
Yeah.
who's going to have the final decision
Uh-oh.
in that decision-making process of selecting the home?
Well, I can speak freely here because I know the wife doesn't listen.
Well, there you go.
So, it'll truly be a combination.
Mm-hmm.
We'll look, she'll whittle it down
Right.
and then be wishy-washy. And I will be the one to say,
Make the decision.
how about this one?
So we're down to like the final 2, 3.
Not even close.
Oh.
Oh,
Not even close. There was a big burst of excitement and looking,
yeah.
and then she got distracted.
Yeah.
Well, what is your dream house? If you could pick one
If I could pick
over
up-
there.
Me, not the wife, me.
You.
Oh, okay. It would be near the mountains, away from everybody,
Right.
into woods.
Mm-hmm. Us driving to work's downhill.
Somehow I would get really good internet in this house, even though I'm in the woods in the
Right.
mountains. And that's pretty much it. Really simple, away from people because, people suck.
It's hard to get away from people in
It is.
Japan.
Actually, it isn't. It isn't. Everybody wants to be near Tokyo, right?
Right.
So, and when you see stuff about Japan on TV, it's all these bustling streets, neon signs,
Yeah.
crowds of people. That's just Tokyo. You get outside of the city, there's
True.
space.
Right.
That's true.
There's places that look like the Great Plains.
Didn't you say they had rice paddies in the
Yeah.
middle of Tokyo, though?
They do.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm,
weird.
they
You'll
do.
be
So they
you'll
grow
turn a,
rice in
You'll
the
drive
middle of the
through-
city.
Yeah.
You'll turn a corner and suddenly there's a farm and rice paddies,
Yeah.
and then you turn
And
a
you have
corner
to
and now
drive
you're back
through
in the
it.
city.
Yeah, it's really confusing.
That is weird.
That guy wouldn't sell.
Well, you got Central Park in New York, right?
hmm
Same.
They try to put parks in Tokyo. There's some really,
Yeah.
really,
There's some
really
nice-
beautiful parks.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Trying to make it clean.
Texas.
Texas.
What are you going to miss?
Barbecue.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. The barbecue. I'm going to miss the barbecue. Seems like there was something else. Barbecue. Mexican food. Good Mexican food.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, I went to a Mexican restaurant in Japan, and I just wanted some tacos, and they
That was a
had
big
chicken
mistake,
tacos
I think.
on well, it's a Mexican restaurant. You
Yeah.
assume they know what they're doing.
Right.
I said chicken tacos, and I thought, wow, these chicken tacos are very expensive, but to them, this is like a specialty food. So, okay, I get this. So I ordered 2 chicken tacos, and I'm sitting at the table, and it's taken forever for this to come out. And Japan and Mexican restaurants, no chips and salsa.
Yeah, it's not.
Right.
And
No
eventually,
margaritas.
my order comes out, and what I have is a piece of flatbread with an entire chicken breast in the middle of it. 2 of them.
Oh my god.
No lettuce, no pico de gallo, just a flatbread and chicken breast.
Yummy.
Oh wow.
So I'll miss the Mexican
And you
food.
waited that long.
There is a good Mexican restaurant in Ikebukuro. It is an
Really?
American chain. They have the American menu there. You get chips and salsa.
Wow. Cool.
And I'm not going to say their name, Dave,
Right.
because I can't remember it.
Well, there you go.
But it does exist.
Yeah.
It does.
I remember missing Mexican food when I was over there.
So Mexican food, the barbecue. I like for Texas, I've always loved the Big Bend
Mm-hmm.
area, that real Western looking.
And you got
Space.
out there.
Yeah,
so-
you got out there. You traveled.
Well, I wanted to get out there more, but thanks,
Yeah.
Corona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really threw a wrench in everything.
Yeah, we wanted to travel a lot more. We really wanted to see. I wanted to show the wife America.
Mm-hmm.
And
You drove to Colorado in a pandemic.
that's true. That's very me. That's very me.
Does she feel like she saw America?
No, not at all. She
No.
complains about it all the time.
Ah,
I
bummer.
wanted to see New York. What makes you think I was going to take you to New York?
Uh-huh.
It's way up there. There's nothing to see there. Just buildings. You come from Tokyo. It's just buildings.
Yeah. East Coast, West Coast, and
She-
everything in between.
She wanted to see L.A.
Yeah.
Actually, I
Yeah.
wanted to take her to Vegas. Is where I wanted to take her.
Ooh,
That would've been fun, too.
That'd be fun. Never been there.
Now, really?
Mm-hmm.
You have never been
What?
to Las Vegas.
No, never.
You need to take 40 of those dresses and head off to Las Vegas
Yes.
and do some photos.
I really want to.
You really should.
Maybe for not like a bachelor party, but
Well,
maybe
a bachelorette party.
bachelorette party. Bachelorette and
Unless there's
well, if
something you'd like
Andy-
to announce here on
No,
this.
I was thinking like Andy and I going together.
Well, the bachelorette parties and the bachelor parties usually happen separate of each other.
That's true.
You're usually not involved with the other person for that.
Yeah.
Maybe we could have it together.
That would be unique.
That could be a new thing
That would
we
be
start.
new.
We could start the trend.
You should do it.
I don't know.
It'll
probably
it'll
be
stay in
separate.
Vegas, so don't worry
Exactly.
Right.
about it. So,
Mm-hmm.
sounds like a holiday.
Mhm.
Speaking of holidays, Veterans Day coming up,
Yes.
and we have a guest.
We do.
Command Sergeant Major Cliff Burgoyne is coming back.
I know. For a
Hey,
second
return.
time.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about veterans and, Army history and a little bit about how things are going
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
with, things here at Fort Hood.
Yep. Fort Hood is a popular topic on those internets.
Oh, boy, are we.
So, on the internet, you hear lots of stuff. And that's because anybody can say anything.
Right.
Yes.
And that's the fact of it. And here you're going to get it right from, as they say in the Cav, the horse's mouth.
And we're going to have that after this.
I didn't fart. That was the chair.
Midnight. The perfect time for a sneaky snack while everyone's asleep. This and a little bit of that.
Say, Phil.
Ah! Gee, God, you frightened me. How did you get in my house?
Silly Phil. It's me.
Elf? Elf on our shelf?
That's right, Phil. I see everything, including you not practicing good cybersecurity. So I got all your passwords and stole your identity, and now this is my house, Phil. My house. You go sit on a shelf, Phil.
This holiday season, it's more important than ever to practice good cybersecurity. After all, you never know who's watching.
Fort Hood's great big podcast. Close enough for the government, good enough for you.
And welcome back. And we have a very special guest. We'll call you a special guest again, okay? We have
Senior enlisted.
This is your last
no,
time
no,
as a
no,
special guest. Enjoy.
Command Sergeant Major Cliff Burgoyne. Thanks for coming back.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Veterans Day. It's coming up, and it's kind of strange because it's a federal holiday in the middle of the week.
Yeah.
Corps made Tuesday a training holiday. That's kind of cool.
It is.
Work a day, take 2 off.
Yeah.
Work 2 more, take some more time off. How many people are going to take that Monday off and as a leave day? Come on.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not you?
No, definitely not.
So what does Veterans Day mean to you?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm sure it means a different thing to everybody. But first, happy anniversary to my wife.
Aww. There you go.
Aw.
Got to get that in.
Yeah, so it'll be 25 years for us.
Wow.
Congratulations.
That's awesome.
And I picked it because
Easy to remember.
it's easy to remember. I'll never forget.
Mm-hmm.
And it's normally a weekend and time off. And so my wife and I got married November 11th, 1995.
Wow.
So that'll be 25 years for us. And
Outstanding.
That's such a big number.
it is.
Don't they have corresponding colors for that? Which one is 25? Is it
No,
gold?
It's not colors,
Mhm.
it's gifts.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
gifts.
Colors.
Yeah, don't they assign colors?
Uh-uh.
I thought they did.
This year's
So-
chartreuse, honey.
I thought
Yeah.
silver was like 10.
no, it's actual
No.
silver.
It's silver.
Oh,
Good
I
You're
thought
going to be
was,
a great wife.
I thought it was
There you go.
colors. It's gifts.
You're going to make it easy
Oh.
on your husband.
Yeah. What's the first one? Paper.
Yeah.
It's because everybody needs money.
That's right.
I thought
Yeah.
it was like journal,
Paper.
like stationery.
Paper.
Oh, that's the better paper.
It's going to be
My
great.
parents almost made 50. Almost.
Oh,
Almost. And by the way, I picked October 10th to get married for the
Did you?
exact same reason.
nice.
10-10.
Yeah.
That is
Ah.
easy.
Yeah.
10-10. When did you get married? 10-10.
97. So I'm only a
Alright.
couple years behind you.
Yeah. But you can see how much I've been trained for 25 years. You can see it in my eyes. But Veterans Day, if you look at the amount of people that serve our country dating back to 1776,
Right.
it takes a special person to do what we do, and you're finding that out now. You two gentlemen know all about that. But really, Veterans Day is to honor the folks that decided to serve, they raised their right hand and swore to the Constitution to defend it. But
Yes.
what does it mean to you?
Me? It's more than a day to do a barbecue, that's for sure, or get a discounted meal. It's weird. We were talking about this last week. The Toby Keith song, some gave all gave some, or it was the other way around. But a lot of people confuse Memorial Day
Veterans
with
Day.
Veterans
Yeah, they
Day.
do.
Yeah.
And Veterans Day, I don't think should have the same feel as Memorial Day. And I know that's what Memorial Day is for. But Veterans Day is when that's when you do your buddy checks on social media with those you served with.
Yeah.
And reach out and give them a hug or a COVID hug. But that's I think for veterans ourselves, that's when we should reach out to each other.
Yeah, a family day.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. To me, Veterans Day, I've served for 34 now, and so through those years, I've built a special bond or a family
Sure.
with a bunch of people, and so we reach out to one another and say, hey, thanks for your service. And it's not just, hey, thanks for your service. It's, hey, thanks, brother,
Yeah.
sister.
It's time to remember them and go, hey, man,
Yeah.
it's been a while. How you doing?
Yeah, thanks for your
Yeah.
service.
Yeah.
Well, for me, Veterans Day has a different name.
What's that?
It's Mortar Day.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's Mortar Day. On my first deployment
Yep.
to Iraq, I went out on a mission on Veterans Day, and we were doing some rooftop surveillance. And
Moscow
all of a
Watch.
sudden, we heard, take cover. And we were all diving down, and I dove, and then there was a little extra time. So I thought, hey, you know what? I could film this. This would make some good video, a nice impact video.
I heard somebody tackled you that day.
Yeah, so I got
Oh my
I
gosh.
got thrown
You're
back
such
down.
a good public affairs
I know,
officer.
mission first. And a mortar landed on the roof.
Wow.
It impacted very close to us. It should have taken us out or messed us up quite a bit, but thankfully, Iraqi construction was so bad that it hit the first layer of concrete and went through it.
Wow.
And impacted and exploded underneath. So the concrete absorbed the blast, allowing us, when we stood up, oh my gosh, we're all still here, and got the heck off the roof. But for my sergeant who was with me, Christina Rockhill, we always communicate with each other on Veterans Day, but we say Happy Mortar Day.
Yeah.
Wow.
So what'd you learn, though?
Well, don't pop up during.
Yeah. Don't get on a roof.
Yeah. Well, no, I was on many other roofs. But yeah, keep your head up when you hear that. Keep your head down.
Yeah. Don't get on a roof during a mortar attack.
Yeah. Oof.
Veterans Day to you, Specialist Duke?
So I always think of my father because he was in the Air Force for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I always thank him. And he really did help teach me everything I know, and was part of the reason why I joined also. So I always think of my dad, and I will usually I have a picture of him. He was a fighter jet mechanic, and he has tons of photos in front of different fighter jets with cool decals on them and things like that. So I always will post those and thank him for being such a good role model to me. But I also think of the 1%, right, that join the population. And I really think just being a part of something bigger is really special.
Yeah.
Absolutely. People first, right?
Yep.
There's a
People first.
transition for you.
Soldiers first.
Soldiers first.
People first.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's, we
You're working that hard now, aren't you?
well, it has a different definition for a lot of different people.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's the as we work through this, what does soldier first or people first mean? It's not doctrinal, and so that's difficult to begin with because it's not in a regulation or a field manual or anything to tell us what that means. And so we all take on our own definition, and so it's up to us to define that at echelon, meaning at squad, at platoon, at company. But people first means that one is we got to slow down, and the Chief of Staff of the Army, the SMA, they've identified that. They know it. They know we need to slow down. General Garrett's even said it in public that we have to slow this down so we can look at people first.
Sure.
Because if we don't slow the pace down, how can we say people first?
Mm-hmm.
And then people first at echelon means we have to take care of the soldier, meaning not only do we have to make sure that they're getting the needed time off and they get to take leave and so forth, but we also have to teach them. And I think we talked about this last time about the skills that soldiers don't know, home skills, home training. And we talked about that, and it means people first means that we have to train them.
Mm-hmm.
It's our job as NCOs to train those soldiers, and that's part of people first.
Absolutely.
What does it mean to you, Specialist Do?
To me, it means not being so robotic. I've had a lot of I've seen a lot of leadership. They get so focused on the doctrines and on what's on the page that they forget, like you said, that people can't be constructed into doctrines and into the rules. And sometimes they do have a hard time having that distinction. Just really knowing your soldiers and knowing their characteristics, everyone has patterns and behaviors. So when you see a difference, you can identify it really quickly and really know what's going on.
Well, you're talking about knowing your soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that is part of people first, is knowing your soldiers. But today's your last day.
On the podcast.
On the podcast.
Yeah,
last
podcast, right? 2 years running. So what does people first mean to you?
Wow. That's it's a broad sentence, people first. Not even a sentence, 2 words.
Yeah.
People and first.
That's still a sentence.
Well, yeah. But it means that the Army is the Army, but it's also people. We're all individuals. And we can't act like everyone is a round peg to go in this round hole, because we're not. It means getting back. I mean, it's such a basic phrase that it's about getting back to the basics of who we are as people. Everybody who joined the Army has a reason for joining the Army. It's not something that we just kind of did one day. There's a patriotic spirit that burns in every soldier. And it's easy to get lost because the Army is a large organization. And, it's part of the government, which is even larger. And I think it's getting back to that thing that's kindled in every one of us. And it's a commonality between every one of us, and seeing those commonalities as people, as soldiers. As soldiers, we transcend the uniform. We are the uniform. We are representatives of the Army, each and every person, and everything that we do, whether we are wearing the suit now or whether we're at home 10 at night ordering pizza. And it's coming back to that and being soldiers and people. We're human. We're fallible. That's what it means to me.
Yeah, no, I see that. I actually agree with everything you said. The NCOER, OER, you have to be perfect. They've never fixed that, let's face it. And they didn't fix it in my career, and it probably still isn't fixed yet. If they ever get to the point where people can be imperfect and still be successful and still excel, because we are all imperfect. I'm sorry. You are, I am, she is, he is. And yet we excel. That to me is people first, to be able to go look at the entire individual, not, hey, you screwed up over here, you're done. Or, hey, you really excelled over here. Or we're going to write up something to make sure you have a all excellent evaluation. Oh, come on. I don't know anybody that's excellent at everything. I've never met anyone like that.
Well,
but you know what? That was really how the Army, the way they've done it over the years. I think that's how they look at it. Is to get to the heights, you gotta walk on water.
Well, I don't know if it's walking on water, but if you think about how we're designed, so we expect everybody in the Army to be a leader, right?
Sure.
You go to, whatever, pick your restaurant, pick your Walmart, whatever. You could be a cashier for 40 years.
Sure.
You can have that one job. In the Army, you must proceed upwards.
Right.
And if you don't proceed upwards, you're out.
Yeah.
And so it's definitely a triangle.
Yeah.
And so we struggle with that. I think the National Guard and the Reserve do a little bit better job because you can stay at a certain rank for a long period of time. I remember going to a school, and there was a 61-year-old E4.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
I've run into those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
61-year-old E4.
Yep.
Working in a dining facility serving chow.
Mm-hmm.
But the active duty is not set up that way.
No.
We have RCP, and rightfully so. And this is a tough business. It really is. It's not something we take lightly. And so if you look at, you talked about the OER and the NCOER, you get promoted one too many times. Everybody does.
Right.
And you don't find out until you get there that you've been promoted one too many times, and then you move out. And so I keep waiting for that to happen. Somebody walk in and say, hey, you're done. But going back to people first, it's hard to explain. It really is, because
it means a lot to
there's so many definitions. And so as I listened to all three of you kind of describe it, you were struggling a little bit with the definition and what it meant. And so am I. What does it mean? At the end of the day, it goes back to one of the Army values, which is respect.
Exactly.
And I've got to respect everyone like I want to be respected and treated. I mean, we've heard it, right? Mm-hmm. What's the golden rule?
Yeah.
And I think if we start with that, we can define it as a definition internally, is if we use the golden rule.
No, I agree. Not to get on a soapbox or anything, but talking about Army values and how everyone is a leader. I think an important Army value that I see lacking right now, to be perfectly honest, because as social media manager, I see a lot of things and a lot of things being said. Personal courage. There's a whole lot of people anonymously snarking at each other or complaining about this, complaining about that, sending an anonymous email to us or an anonymous message or going to this group or tweeting something. Well, if everyone is a leader, that means you need to have the personal courage to fix what is wrong when you see it. And that has always been, from when I was in the Army, an important aspect of it, and something that I loved about the Army is that if you saw something, you fixed it right then, and once it was fixed, everybody moved on. You didn't wallow in what had happened. Fix it and move out. And I would like to see people get back to that. I would like to see less snarking on the internet, less trying to rat somebody out or get somebody in trouble, more fixing, more camaraderie.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. And I think we're moving forward in the right direction. As I talked to General Richardson, when he started this Phantom Action Week that we did a few weeks ago, we talked about that. If you see something, hey, do something about it and quit waiting for somebody else to do it, because we're going to run out of people if you keep waiting for people to do it. But, have the personal courage to step up.
One of the things we brought you in to talk about the holiday, but the holidays are coming up. Family time. You talked about Veterans Day being a family day for veterans. Holidays are coming up. How important is it for our soldiers to take that break away and go see family and do all that? And how is Fort Hood going to handle that, since we're still sitting here in a pandemic?
Yeah. No, I think as we talk about this, we need to go on vacation.
Yeah.
People need to take leave right now because, listen, this has been a different year for everybody in the world. No one's ever experienced anything like this. And so we're going on, what's this? I'm doing some Louisiana math here.
8 months.
March to now, right? So talking with General White, we're going to allow folks to go on leave. What we're asking to do, though, is be responsible about it and have that personal courage when they stop at a gas station or whatever. And the states, it's not a mandatory mask state. Put it on anyway.
Right.
Don't give it and don't get it. That's kind of what we're looking at as far as the COVID. But going back to going on leave, we're going to allow our soldiers to go on leave, hands down. And we're leaving it up to brigade commanders and battalion commanders to assume risk and let the soldiers travel to where they need to. But we're going to have somebody look where they're going and ensure that folks are mitigating the risks when they go see them. Because, they're not going to see friends. They're going to go see family.
Sure.
And family's a little bit older, right? And
Yes.
so if you use it, what I just said was don't get the virus and don't give the virus. I think we'll be okay.
I travel with a little tub of little sanitation, kills the virus wipes.
Wipes, yeah.
And anytime I got to get gas, I go out with one of those. I put it over my hand. That's how I'm grabbing the gas pump. I wipe it down. I wipe my hands down. I think that is a good policy because that's a place people don't think about, that you could pick it up as they're getting gas. Especially if you're traveling, and mask up. It's very important.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Sorry, Major, you got any closing thoughts?
On holiday leave?
Oh, just
On COVID?
life, COVID. You've been getting out seeing the troops, right?
I have.
So any little anecdotes or stories you'd like to share?
Yep. So I went out to a 2-5 Cav in 1st Cavalry Division yesterday, went to a motor pool, and I looked at the new JLTVs, the new
cool.
vehicles.
Yeah.
And they were all in this configuration. I'd never seen anything like it. There's a nitrogen system inside of that vehicle that raises and lowers it based on either operational mode or transportation mode.
That's
So
neat.
if it transports if it's in a transport mode, where i.e. on airplanes or railroad, they lower it down to where it's 2 inches off the ground.
Oh, cool.
And so I didn't know this until I got in, and I'm like, oh, finally they built a vehicle that I could get into without having to climb up into it.
Uh-huh.
And then one of the guys came in and showed me how it worked. But if you hadn't seen the new JLTV, it's a pretty neat piece of kit. It's way smarter than anybody in this room.
I believe it's probably smarter than all of us combined.
Yeah, but I tell you, there's some soldiers out there working hard. They really are. They're in the motor pool doing the maintenance that we need them to. They're doing PT in the mornings. You know, we do PT in the mornings from 6:30 to 7:30. I don't know if you guys get up that early, but it happens on Battalion Avenue mostly. But they're this morning, First Cav was doing a lot of combat focused PT. They were in their uniforms with their plate carriers and so forth, and rucksacks carrying stretchers. It's a lot of fun to watch when you have units competing against each other.
Sure.
I love to see it. I jumped in and did a little litter carry this morning, so it was a lot of fun. But that's the best part of my day, is when I can get out and be around soldiers, because as we remember Veterans Day, in the beginning of the show, we talked about the people that raise their right hand.
Yep.
The reason why I'm still in is because of soldiers, and they're phenomenal individuals, and they'll overcome any obstacle or problem that we have.
Outstanding. Well, Sergeant Major, thank you again for coming on the show. And we do have another special guest coming up.
Yeah.
And that's right after this.
Pushing the button.
It's better to give than receive. We've all heard that before. And with the holidays approaching, what better way to give than through the Combined Federal Campaign? CFC is the workplace giving program of the federal government and has been making a difference since 1961. This year's campaign is already underway and runs through the holiday season to January 12th. To find out more about the Combined Federal Campaign, go to omp.gov/show some love CFC. 'Tis the season to give to CFC.
Flermit the sock here for the thrift savings spam. Is it meat? Who knows?
Cut.
What?
Flermit, baby, look at this script. It clearly says thrift savings plan.
Oh, yeah.
It's about saving money, not lunch meat.
Not
Let's
lunch.
try this again.
Thanks, Steve. Flermit the sock here for the thrift savings plan.
Got it, baby.
Soldiers and DoD civilians, listen up. Are you socking away a little bit of money each month in your TSP? What? You're not? They call me crazy. The Thrift Savings Plan is a great way to make sure that you've got the supplemental income you need when you get old and wrinkly. Plus, the government can match up to 5% of your contribution. That's a free money. Make it rain, Uncle Sam. Make it rain. So look out for your future and sock some money away in the Thrift Savings Plan account. Visit www.tsp.gov for more information. You can retire like an ex-prince moving to LA, or in my case, his wife.
That's a wrap.
It's me, Super Mario. Woohoo! Hello to all of my friends at the Fort Hood's Great Big Podcast. You're number one.
Say up, up, down, down, left, right, brain. Start.
So welcome back, and we're joined by famed media mogul, Flermit the Sock, better known as the pitchman for the Thrift Savings Plan here on the Great Big Podcast.
You can save money with the Thrift Savings Spam.
Well, yes, you can. Flermit, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Were you bummed out that you didn't get a full-time gig here on the podcast?
You know, I had been promised a gig. I'd been meaning to talk to somebody about that. I've been calling my agent, but he has issues with the call returning.
Brianna,
Oh,
you
man.
two have history, right?
Might be
We
racist.
do.
So where do you two know each other?
So we met in Japan on a little show called The Pulse.
Ooh, Dizama Pulse. Yeah, I was on Dizama Pulse. I was a host. I was with Steve. Steve was a great guy. I like Steve.
And we were also on the Rising Sun show together. So we did the two together, and
Yeah, I
now
really
we're
like Steve.
rejoined on a third production.
Mm-hmm. Steve was great.
Steve.
Was I pretty great, Flermit?
Hmm.
Who are you?
I'm Specialist Do. But I'm not.
Whatever, lady.
Oh man,
Left a great impression.
Yeah,
I
I know. Oh, I feel like it's when you wave to somebody and you think they're waving back, but they're waving to someone behind you. That's how I
Lady, I'm a
feel.
sock. I don't even have hands.
This is true. This is true.
So there was the backstory why you were blackballed from this show. Was that there was some Air Force NCO who re-enlisted herself using a dinosaur. If you all remember that viral video.
Yes.
Flermit,
Who can forget?
you wouldn't be on someone's hand when they re-enlisted, would you?
Oh, no, not. I mean, I'm enlisted myself. I'm an Army sock. You know, when I was a little thing of fuzz, thinking about what do I want to do when I get older. You know, I wanted to be in the Army. I wanted to serve my country and do what I could to help America. And so I went to my recruiter, and they had me take the ASVAB and looked at my score, and they said, well, you could be a sock. And I said, oh, cool, that sounds great.
Good. Well,
Here I am.
You are Charlie Suck. Thanks for keeping the 6 feet distance.
I bathe
Oh, okay.
occasionally.
Yeah. Not what Charlie
Once.
said.
That's true. I got to talk to him after the show.
All right, Charlie.
Yeah.
We're running out of time, brother.
Are we?
You are.
I am. No, I'm not. I got all the time in the world.
Yeah.
Actually, well, no, it's true. I lose a day.
Yep.
I lose a day.
You
Going
got to
back.
fly on the 20th. You thought 21st? You're
Well,
flying on the
20.
20th?
Well, I thought the 23rd.
2 days to
originally.
get there.
Yeah, because you lose a day. So if you leave on the 20, I'm leaving on the 21st, which
Yeah.
means I'll get there on the 22nd. Orders said EOD day was the 22nd.
Right.
That doesn't mean you get on the plane. You know, I got to be there on the EOD day.
Right.
So that means I have to leave on the 21st.
Yep.
So that's
There
what
you
I'll
go.
do.
I thought you had to leave on the 20th.
No, I don't mess with my brain. I will get there when I arrive.
Yeah.
They have a whole thing there, though. You know, I'll have to quarantine again. But it's like I told the wife, we're old hats at that.
Yeah, you're experienced.
Mm-hmm. We know what we're in for.
Yeah.
So, and we'll get tested 3 times.
3?
Yeah, they test you at the airport. So the government of Japan, to get in Japan, stick something up your nose.
Mm-hmm.
Or they've also said they've got places you do the spit test.
Okay.
So apparently you can spit in something and they can.
Hakalugi.
I think
And
I told I'd rather have it up my nose because then I start getting spit anxiety. You know, what if my mouth is too dry?
Dry
Is that enough
mouth.
spit?
Yeah.
So you got to do that. And then they do it, I want to say 3 days before your 2-week quarantine is over.
Wow.
And then again at the end, you have to pass multiple tests just to get out of quarantine.
Wow.
So
That's crazy. What a different world.
I know, what a rigmarole just to get cheap sushi.
Yeah.
This too shall pass, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, I mean, I'll be in a room with a bunch of video games and my wife. So, yeah,
Yeah,
it's not
there
such
you
a bad
go.
thing.
Yeah. Sounds like a great time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Charlie, it has been a pleasure.
Hey, it's been great being on the show. It's something I always wanted to do.
Yep.
To be honest, I always wanted to be on talk radio. I grew up listening to talk radio, and I see podcasts as nothing more than a lot of boring talk radio and a couple good ones.
Yeah.
I like to think that we're one of the good ones.
Yeah. I think we are.
So, you know, my message to you two as I head out the door is don't screw this up.
Yeah, well, you know.
Everything's riding on it, so no pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. Remember, I'll be listening from Japan. You'll see that, we got that one listen from Japan. That's Charlie.
Yeah. I feel like you're the glue that holds us all together. And now you're departing.
You'll see those comments on the Fort Hood Facebook page.
Yeah.
You suck!
Every spam comment. You're going to make multiple Facebook accounts.
Absolutely.
Hey, but that'll what's that saying when the even bad news is good news or something like that?
Yeah, that's not true.
No news is
No news is bad news, bears.
No, not that one.
And
Bad news bears.
Flermit just lost an eyeball.
Oh no! Is he gonna make it?
Well, yeah,
That's
they're
good.
I think he's molting or something.
he is. Yeah,
Do you think
I
he'll
could make
get
a
a
one-eyed sock
revival?
joke, but I won't.
Yeah, please don't.
Yeah, no, this is Flermit truly was at Camp Zama, Japan, was a host of a TV news show.
I know.
And then helped out here on the for our spots.
That's why we were so excited to bring you across the pond.
And it was for the sock, gee.
Well, yeah.
But hopefully when I go back, we'll see some reports from Flermit the USACE sock.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
I want to get a little hard hat.
Oh, yeah.
for him that he can
Corps of Engineers. Here we
put up
come.
Gotta get all the
safety messaging or something.
accessories.
Yep.
He should get a tiny Stetson.
Hey, you're the Cav lady. Make it happen.
Hey, this is your last show, so you get the parting thoughts.
All right. Jeepers. All right. Well, as Fort Hood's social media manager, I want to tell everybody, hey, don't be a jerk on the internet. Seriously. What you say matters. How you say it matters. And there's a whole lot of bad vibes out there. There's a whole lot of hate out there. Man, Bill and Ted said it right. Be excellent to each other. It's not that hard. So when you're mad at somebody and you're thinking about spewing venom or saying something, just don't do it. Make the world a better place. And then the next guy after me, his job's going to be easier. Me, I won't care. But it has been a pleasure talking to all of you and serving you. And I wish everyone hearing this good luck and Godspeed.
Oh, very well said.
Is that going to be it? Very well said.
Well, I thought
That's how we're ending
I thought we
this?
were still going.
No,
Oh.
it's
Okay,
dead.
Sorry.
I can do it now?
Oh no, you can keep going.
Lord. Like, this is me and my wife.
Go.
I'll hit the button.
Driving down the road